work ethic is brilliant. Then he will send it out! Raise the roof! Henry flexes on it.
Get around here. Give you the fist pump. He pumps that fist. This will be a 7. You called it early. They have written him. Johnson just stayed at home. Had his hand on the ball. Drive. Puts the shot up. How did he get that in? The shot, 3 seconds. Molly Kendrick, turn away jumper. That is who you want to get the ball there. Yep. Oh! And that is your Kodak moment. There he goes. Fred Hayes.
Over me.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome along to Premier League action right here at Wavell Basketball Stadium, wherever you may be streaming around the place, whether on Facebook or on YouTube. We've got round 13 action continuing this weekend. We have Forestville Eagles taking on the North Adelaide Rockets. Good afternoon to you, Benito.
Yeah, it's a great afternoon. The 17th and 18th matches of the round. What a blockbuster round it was.
It's been a big weekend for both clubs as well. Unfortunately, the North Adelaide Rockets going down by a big margin to Sturt last night, but Forest were having a very, very good win over Woodville at St Clair.
Yeah, well, it has to be said that Sturt are a very strong side, and despite losing by 30 to them, North Adelaide aren't a side that's 30 points worse than Sturt, and they're going to show that tonight against the Forestville Eagles. I'm sure they're going to fight back. I'm sure they're going to show something really to show that they have more in the tank, and Jason Joynes will be all over that, their coach.
He'll be moving on that pretty swiftly. He'll be looking for more scoring options as well. DiFrancesco and Corrigan basically leading the way last night, which realistically, looking at their bench, they've had a couple of injections of points coming in from Ditmar and from Seals, but really they need to find some more scoring options, that's for sure.
Yeah, and looking over the Forestville, they're the complete opposite, riding high at the top of the ladder, 10-3 for the season. You thought they wouldn't have it in them this year, after, of course, losing Sam Simons, Olivia Thompson, Hannah Hank, Kelsey Island, Juliette Gordon, Darcy Rees. There's so many players they lost, but they've filled the holes, and they just play wonderful team basketball, and it's full credit to Monica Bella, who I think is going to be the coach of the year in the swimmers competition.
Absolutely no doubt. Last night they had options aplenty. Ella Sawyer was massive last night, 14.7 rebounds and 6 assists, taking out the MVP against Woodville there. Gabby Vidmar, Amber Calkin, they put the points on the board and they made themselves options. And there was a whole host of other players as well, with Oceana Hamilton as well chipping in for 8 points. So yeah, a lot of damaging options. We'll see a lot of fast basketball. It was a real quick game yesterday. It was a little bit of a dirty game, not so much in the attitude of the game, but basically in the way that it was just a scrap for quite a while. But it was still quite a quick game, and we'll see a lot of that today.
Well, of course, I think you said it, but the Forestville Eagles just have so many shooters. You already mentioned Gabby Vidmar. She's shooting at 40% from the three-point stripe. Amber Calkin is another lightning shooting guard. And then you have Ella Sawyer. Chelsea Roberts, we haven't even mentioned. She's basically a hired gun coming over from the Norwood Flames. They've got the players that can just get the ball into the basket, and it puts them in good shape for this afternoon's match.
So it should be an absolute cracker here at Forestville. So if you're around the place, if you're hearing us on the live stream, make your way down the Wavell and jump on inside. It's going to be an absolute cracking afternoon with Forestville taking on North Adelaide, hosting them after both playing away last night.
Yeah, well, nothing better than the Wavell Sports Centre.
This used to be the old cat and dog pavilion as well, so they could be going at it like cats and dogs today, that's for sure.
I'll take it. But we're about to get underway. We've got Corrigan lining up against Chelsea Roberts, as we said, coming over from Norwood, 25 years old. But here's tip-off, and we've got Sunday afternoon basketball for you, the Premier League, and here's Seals to kick things off. She's starting today. DiFrancesco inside to Corrigan. She works on Chelsea Roberts, and the ball rolls in.
Best possible start for North Adelaide, and Monica Bell will not be happy with that.
And it's a fast start as well, exactly what the doctor ordered. Dr. Joynes, Jason Joynes.
And a quick sub, straight away, 11 seconds.
Courtney Hanson comes off. It's interesting to see, though, that teams have started to bring that in. I think Tracy York was one that I saw a lot, would play a bench player just for a segment, the opening sequence of the game. They have a strategy that they want to implement to get those first points, because obviously they see the importance in that.
As North Adelaide get another opportunity. Seals inbounds. Back out to Seals. She's going to penetrate. Dumps it out. Baseline shot. Off the back of the ring and controlled by Forestville.
Yeah, that was a good look there for Abby Mata. Unfortunately didn't make it count, but nice awareness there from Seals to find her open in the perimeter. Here's Roberts, good from outside and can drive. There's a shot, bounces back off, and Corrigan stands tallest, and bringing it back up is Abby Mata. And the pass to Di Francesco is contested. Somehow Corrigan picks it up, puts it over Roberts. Doesn't fall in, but Di Francesco there for the offensive rebound, and North Adelaide shoot out to a 5-point lead.
It's been 1 minute and it's already hot at both ends. Samatolopoulos controlling the play. Back out to the top with Elisoy, last night's MVP.
Vidmar nearly loses it.
Roberts back out to Vidmar. And she's fouled on the three-point shot. Don't know if Corrigan got a piece of the ball, but that was not going anywhere near the basket. And Vidmar will head to the line for 3 free throws.
Yeah, well, Corrigan, of course, plenty taller than Gabby Vidmar, but couldn't get a piece of the ball and ended up taking a bit of an arm, I believe, as well. So Vidmar, as we said, a very good three-point shooter. Of course, the daughter of Aurelio Vidmar, the ex-Socceroo, and her mum, Sarah, is an ex-netballer as well. So a very strong sporting heritage in the Vidmar family.
She misses the second shot there, so that was absolutely perfectly timed from you, Benita. That was bang on.
Just rolled off the tongue and off the.
And there it goes.
Well.
She's redeemed herself with a third shot as Oceana Hamilton checks into the game for Gabby Vidmar.
Here's Seals bringing it up. Joins would want to see Seals getting plenty of possession. Corrigan rolls it out of bounds, and that's not what North Adelaide wanted. Here's the fast break, stepping inside. Nice pass to Roberts, and she should put it away, doesn't, but the height of Oceana Hamilton. She does it on both sides of the Pacific, Alan. Now Di Francesco at the top of the key. Nice pass inside to the running Mata. She gets fouled and kind of just tosses it up to get the shots.
She was certainly on her way to the basket, so that would have been a trip to the line.
That's fair.
Nonetheless for Abby Mata.
But Abby Mata, of course, the sister of Opal Mata, who isn't here this season, but a very strong basketballing family.
And they've been a staple of the North Adelaide basketball team for quite some time as well, the Matas.
Yeah, and Abby, I remember Brenton Johnston last year saying she was one to watch.
Yep. And
she proved it in a semi-final. We'll get back to that later, but that's a story worth telling. Here's Chelsea Roberts. And the pass out. Hamilton thinks about the three-point shot, but fast basketball here from the Eagles. And it might finish in the shot. Stamatolopoulos gets held up. She tries to push inside on Seals, finds an avenue. The shot contested, falls well short, and Seals brings it up.
There should be one to watch tonight, Samatolopoulos. Had 3 fouls in the opening quarter, so we'll want to make a bit of a redemption game today, that's for sure.
Was that last night? She had 3 fouls?
3 fouls in the first quarter, which was, it was tough for her as well. I mean, she's a key component of this Forestville offense, that's for sure. She's quick, she's got great ball handling ability, and a really, really good eye, very high basketball IQ, and just a fantastic last name.
Yeah, a wonderful last name.
Just great fun to say.
Stamatolopoulos. But as you said, maybe it was part of Monica Bella's management system. Stamatolopoulos will probably get plenty of minutes in this match because she'll be fresh.
You'll see a lot of offense flowing through her as well. As Roberts takes it from downtown. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Puts the Eagles into the lead 6-5. A couple of minutes into this first quarter as North Adelaide throw it away. And Forestville will reset to put some more points on the board.
It's not the place you want to be throwing it away, right in front of your coach.
And especially on the back of a big, long bomb from Chelsea Roberts. Sawyer kicks it down to Stamatolopoulos, inside to Hamilton. She's double teamed. And the jump ball is called. And Forestville will retain possession.
Yeah, Hamilton, of course, coming over from Ontario, played for Alabama Crimson Tide and the Northwestern University Wildcats. So plenty of potential there. And here she is trying to post up. Doesn't go, and Seals will break. gives it off. And now Sophie Byrne. Nice pass to DiFrancesco. The former Forestville Eagles shot is well wide. And bringing it back up is Sawyer. Of course, Sawyer just 18 years old as well. They've got a young side, the Eagles, but they're top of the ladder for a reason. Hamilton just dominating in the key without Corrigan on the court. It's a dangerous proposition, and all of a sudden, the Eagles are on an 8-0 run.
They've got to be careful in that low block as well down in the Forestville end. Not to let Hamilton get isolated too much, because that will continue to happen. She'll continue to dominate. She's too big, and she's pretty agile for a big player as well.
Absolutely. Here's the pass to Matsalopoulos. Thinks about the long two. Instead gives it out, and the passing around the three-point line is unbelievable from the Eagles, and they work it out. Roberts will head to the charity stripe. Of course, Roberts played her college basketball for Mineral Area College, and I interviewed her last year actually, and she was talking about how she had to shoot 500 three-point shots a day on a regular basis. And you can see how that made her a gun three-point shooter. She didn't even consider herself a three-point shooter before that. But she's just adapted her game, come back from America with astonishing ability from outside that line.
Well, knocking down 500 three-pointers in a day every day is certainly going to get you there. So for all the kids out there listening, that's how you get good at shooting three-point shots. You shoot and you shoot and you shoot.
DiFrancesco has an avenue, and the shot over Oceana Hamilton. Probably not the best choice, and Forrest will bring it back up, charging through, putting the shot up, and not getting it to go was Charlotte Viner. And what can Abby Marta do? She puts that shot up and gets it. Stems the tide that was certainly flowing Forestville's way.
Good to get some points back on the board for North Adelaide. Amy Brett gets Seals in the air, dumps it inside. Smart play, and the foul rolls in. Oceana Hamilton. Great control and poise under the basket, takes the hit, and the ring does the rest for the ball and just allows it to roll in.
Yeah, great basketball there, especially from Amy Brett, who I called Charlotte Viner before, apologies. But Oceana Hamilton coming off the bench and getting points, as we highlighted before the match. Stands 6'4". That's the height.
She's a difficult proposition, that's for sure.
Especially in this league. Fills the hole of Olivia Thompson quite superbly as well for Monica Bello. On the court now, Tia Bales gives it out, and that's Sophie Byrne, a good three-point shooter, but she's well defended there. DiFrancesco didn't look like she was going to shoot. Not a surprise to solve, and the shot didn't fall.
She's been a bit cold to start this game, DiFrancesco, but that won't stop her from putting some points on the board for the rest of this game. Brett controls it. Sawyer looking for a pass, kicks it out to Kalkin from the corner. Rims out, great rebound from Brett. The Forest are going to reset and run another offense. Kalkin goes middle, loses the handle, picks it back out. Chelsea Roberts from downtown, she's feeling it today. Big time shot, kicks the lead out to 9 points. Just over halfway gone this first quarter.
Well, she had the highest three-point percentage in the league last season, Chelsea Roberts. An absolute brilliant acquisition from Monica Bello. Marta with the other shot, bit short, and strong rebound, and bringing it up is Roberts to Kalkin. Kalkin, her layup doesn't go, and the big board means they can bring it back up. Eliza Joins there, grabbing that one. And Bales in strife. She travels.
And Kalkin will be disappointed with that trip down the court. She had a terrific game last night. Very, very close to going MVP with 15 points and a couple of rebounds to her name as well, but had an absolute cracking game.
It was unfortunate. I wouldn't have been surprised if they had played with their Indigenous jersey today, considering how good it looked last night.
It was an absolutely beautiful design, designed by Amber Kalkin as well, an absolute cracking uniform, and did a great job. It was wonderful to be a part of the night last night at St Clair with Woodville Warriors Basketball Club. They put on an amazing event with such honour and just the way they put on the night for Reconciliation Week and obviously the Reconciliation Games that were recognised last night. So, and obviously the men's jerseys for Woodville were designed by Paul and Hunter Vandenberg.
Yeah,
so obviously Paul being a former player, just a real real spectacle to watch and to be a part of. So, and everybody absolutely loved the uniforms. They looked brilliant.
Yeah, and you just see I think the AFL with their Indigenous jerseys really kicked something off, and it'd be great to see something like that replicate in the Premier League. Of course, Paul Vandenberg is a part of Port Adelaide Football Club as well. He does a lot of good in the Indigenous community, and it's just something that needs to be celebrated more, isn't it?
Absolutely right. I mean, we look at the jerseys that the Guernseys that the football players wore over the this last week in this round as well. They're just fantastic. They're such well designed and put together, such beautiful, vibrant colours, and such history and culture described in just the uniforms. It's absolutely brilliant. As Forestville move the ball down into another offence, it's with Vidmar swinging around to Roberts. Carlton looking for a way through. North Adelaide doing a great job of clogging up the hole, because they always like to drive, as they do right now. Amy Brett goes in, dumps it inside to Oceana Hamilton under the basket, rolls it back in up the front of the iron, and in for another 2 points for Oceana Hamilton.
And you can see the smile on Amy Brett's face. I don't know how she got that ball through to Oceana Hamilton, but that is solid basketball considering they had 4 players outside. It was just Hamilton on the interior, and she made it work. Here's Corrigan back on court. That's what you want to see as a North Adelaide fan, if you're a North Adelaide fan. Corrigan puts up the J, turns it away, and folds in important points for the North Adelaide Rockets. That was a 18-2 run before that basket.
Some very kind rooms here at Wavell Basketball Stadium. As Vidmar kicks around to Roberts, she has another look at it again, and why wouldn't you if you're Chelsea Roberts? Kicks it over to Kaukin from downtown, just rims out, and Corrigan controls the board and gets it out to Bowles as they look to run the ball up. Di Francesca inside, great pass, deserves the finish, does not get it, but Eliza Joins will have a trip to the foul line. Great ball movement from North Adelaide. Coach Jason Joins will be super happy with that.
And strong basketball there from Corrigan on the interior. Of course, an All-Star 5 player in 2017. She didn't have the season she had in 2017 last year, but they won the championship, so she wouldn't be complaining. A real leader in the North Adelaide side. She really has emerged this season as the one they look to steady the ship when things get difficult. Of course, they had retirement central at the end of last season.
It was a big turnover, realistically. I mean, and not just from a personnel perspective, but obviously Brendan Johnson moving on as well. So it's been a big adjustment for North Adelaide. But we know that they won't be down towards the bottom of the ladder for very, very long, that's for sure.
Kaukin running the offense, and that never looked like missing, to be honest. And all the time in the world to size that up and just pull up for the J and the 2 points. But Bales now. Good pass to Joins. Joins back out to Marta. Marta looking to drive with intent. Pass it out to Corrigan over the top. And Di Francesco's shot, again, not too close to that going in. And Forest will retain possession despite the wayward pass. Kind of fortunate, really.
Just a little bit of a fingernail on that one, just like the fingernail that Chris Mann got in that goal.
Oh, yeah, salty fans. We'll stick to basketball.
It's been a point of contention, I think, for the last 24 hours from anybody who's a Collingwood fan.
Yeah. But
we're here for basketball as Vidmar kicks it out to Stamatopoulos. Pops it back out to Vidmar. She's looking for that three-point shot. Quinn with it now. Another penetration and a hand on the ball, and looks like touch the elbow as well on the way through. Foul is called, and Megan Quinn will head to the line for 2 shots. Solid game from Megan Quinn last night. Unfortunately fouled out, but she was one of about 5, I think, that fouled out.
So quite a physical encounter.
I wouldn't say a physical encounter, but there was certainly a lot of fouls called.
Sounds like you're putting the impetus on the referees. Anyway, well, we'll leave it.
Define physical. I mean, let's leave it at that. As Bales brings the ball up for North Adelaide, looking to set up another offense. Bring this back under 10 points. And a good place to go is Corrigan. She drives the basket. Not sure she was quite in the right footing to make that shot. Quinn brings the ball up, down to Vidmar, and pops it out. And Di Francesco almost gets a hand on that one. Kaukin controlling it. Quinn drives baseline, pops it up a little bit too high for Vidmar.
But they keep it alive.
Through Jenna Westhoff. As Kaukin drives and the floater goes in.
That's how you do it, Taylor Corrigan. On the other end, Kaukin just drove and just the deft touch got that ball into the basket. Of course, these are two grand finalists from last season going at it. Here's Joynes, has no support on the inside. They're shouting to get it on the outside. Di Francesco again.
Another long shot.
But hits the spot for the third consecutive time. That corner of the square on the backboard. It's not what you want to see as a North fan or as Di Francesco.
Zip from three from that one spot all long. The shot off from Jenna Westhoff. Rebounded by Bales. She runs into a brick wall, which is Jenna Westhoff. And North Adelaide take it away.
Showing strength that you didn't think she had, Tia Bales. That's better. Samantha Di Francesco.
One shot can change your rhythm very, very quickly. So hopefully that's better news for Di Francesco, that's for sure, as they pop it into Jenna Westhoff. Almost too high for Cowkin. Quinn all alone, top of the key, every day of the week. Thank you very much.
Got to defend that. And hands on hips, Jason Joynes. Bales gives his Eliza Joynes looking for options, can't get it up. How about that from Amber Cowkin? Just strips her.
Great hands under the basket, great poison, not to give away a foul as well. Very easy to get a hand onto the wrist, but was absolutely clean as a whistle.
Here's Cowkin's floater on the other end. Delightful. But Bales to bring it in. 22 seconds on the clock, 15 on the shot. And Di Francesco gets the screen, but she's well defended by the Forestville Eagles as a whole. But Corrigan knows where to put that one. And with just 10 seconds, you see the final sequence of the quarter by the Forestville Eagles. Quinn sizes it up, gives it off to Katia. Stamatolopoulos lays that in, and time will expire. The Forestville Eagles have had it all their way in the battle of the grand finalists. 28-15 at quarter time. North Adelaide, what do you do here?
Look, there's really not much you can do more than you just need to step your intensity up in defence. I mean, we highlighted at the start of the game that Forest will have a lot of weapons, and we've seen it in this game already. Katia Stamatolopoulos, Amber Cowkin, Oceana Hamilton, Chelsea Roberts, they are dominating this game. And if there was one or two players dominating for Forestville, you'd be going into this quarter time break as Jason Joynes going, okay, we've got this under control, but letting all these players off the leash, and then the wide open jump shot top of the key from Megan Quinn, I mean, it's unforgivable. You've got to match up, and you've got to start talking on that defensive end. Yeah,
and it's unfortunate too, because North Adelaide did get off to the fast start. They were 5 points up. They scored the first 5 points of the match. Just were not able to consolidate that at all, and all of a sudden it ballooned out to about a 20-9 lead for the Forestville Eagles, and it's hard to get back from that. But how good have the Eagles been? Wonderful team basketball. I'd love to see their turnover count, because I don't think it would be very high at all. In fact, 0 turnovers for the quarter for the Forestville Eagles.
You could put as many points as you like on the board or not. You could have as many fouls you like on the board or not, as many rebounds you like or whatever. Monica Bello would be absolutely elated with 0 turnovers.
To go with 6 assists as well.
So realistically, your efficiency is astronomical to go through an entire quarter without a turnover. I mean, look, turnovers, you're not getting 20 or 30 a game, but still to go 0 through a quarter is hugely important, and a real boost for their confidence as well, which realistically from last night, they didn't need much more of a confidence booster than that.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Just thinking, imagine if they went the whole half without a turnover. Then we could think about the third quarter. Has a team ever gone a whole game without a turnover?
Well, I think the way that they sort of set up Gabby Vidmar earlier with her three free throws, and I think they're going to get about 9 turnovers in the next minute from what you've just mentioned as we get started in the second quarter.
Here we go. The double Mickey. Here's Sophie Byrne. They want to get her open on the 3-point line a few times, but that's not how you do it. Foul called on, I believe, Tia Bales.
Yes, yep. Legal screen off the ball. Just trying to get Corrigan open. Because let's be honest, that's probably their best avenue. Yeah, it's just your best avenue to score realistically as Stamatolopoulos brings it up. And a bit of miscommunication, but it will work out okay with Tia Bales losing her footing. Megan Quinn back around to Stamatolopoulos, straight through like a hot knife through butter, just overcooks the shot. Great offensive rebound by Westhoff, and that'll restart as Sawyer drives the key, dumps it outside to Vidmar from downtown, and she knocks it on the buzzer of the shot clock. Big shot from Gabby Vidmar.
And now Corrigan, what can she do? In return, the offensive called.
And they wave away the points.
Strong defense.
Salt into the wound.
Megan Quinn. You could almost see a replay of that. It was debatable, but the foul was called, and that's unfortunately Taylor Corrigan's third.
Unfortunately, as soon as you move that elbow outside of your cylinder and start to make your own way through, you kind of throw yourself as susceptible for that, and there's the first turnover for the Forestville Eagles.
Into the term, Alan Brown, you've called me out.
Yeah, look, it's. I think we all knew that was going to happen, that's for sure, as Bales sets up another North Adelaide offense. Sophie Byrne just looking for some options now. And there was no option there. We're not too sure, but she had a toe on the line, Megan Quinn. So North Adelaide will get out of jail on this one as we get some subs in.
Chelsea Roberts re-enters the game.
How would you feel after seeing a quarter that Chelsea Roberts had, knocking down big-time three-point shots in a row, coming back onto the court? She's had a rest and she's coming back. You'd be feeling sick to your stomach.
Oh, well, if you're Chelsea Roberts, you would be. You'd be taking this game on. Be looking at a big 30-point outing, I'd say. If she continues like this, you can completely expect it. She's going to put this one up. She's got no one. She didn't. I put the Mickey on her again. But making space superbly of the Forestville Eagles. Look at them. The intensity is just unmatched by the Rockets at the moment.
They are moving as a cohesive unit, and that's what's so dangerous. The Stamatolopoulos knocks a big-time shot just inside the three-point line, and this is starting to look very, very dangerous for North Adelaide.
Well, we saw North Adelaide last night really fall away in the first half. It unfortunately looks to be panning out in a similar fashion again today. Stamatolopoulos, though, gives it off, and Sawyer to Vidmar. They've got shooters on every number on the court. Roberts pushes in, and nice drive, puts a shot up, and it counts. Chelsea Roberts doing it from inside and out.
Come to play tonight, Chelsea Roberts. She's an absolute weapon on the offensive end, and clearly down in defensive end as well, getting that block shot and just grabbing the ball after that shot too to get Forestville on the court and off and away. Bales with it now, Di Francesca. Long pass. Quick shot, rainbow shot from Sophie Byrne. That much better. Was a bit skeptical on the long pass, but hey, it worked out okay. Ella Sawyer moving around with Stamatolopoulos now. Combining with Vidmar, we'll call that combination quite a lot tonight. Westhoff back out to Vidmar. Takes the shot from downtown, just rims out. Off the leg of Stamatolopoulos, and North Adelaide will take control as Oceana Hamilton checks back into the game. And with no Corrigan on court, this could get messy.
You've absolutely called it correctly. At the moment, Forestville doubling the Rockets in score, but Sophie Byrne gets that shot, doesn't fall, but Di Francesco tries to reverse lay that up after the offensive rebounds and keeps possession alive for the Rockets. The only one out there.
She's had a dirty night on the offensive end, but she'll keep going and going and getting that ball up, and at the end of the day, the next shot will be the one that will go in. That's what she's got to keep telling herself, the next shot is the one that will go in. As Byrne is looking for that three-point shot. Bit of a fumble. And the three-point shot comes from Bales. Almost a bit of a bailout shot from Katia Bales, pardon me. As Stamatolopoulos brings it up. Roberts kicking it back out to Vidmar. And inside to Oceana Hamilton. Just goes through the fingertips. And North Adelaide breathe a sigh of relief.
Now Bales up against Sawyer, looking to spark something. She doesn't see anything she likes, and the offensive called on Stamatolopoulos. And
a bit of push and shove down the low block there. That's
a little bit of extracurricular activity.
Just a little bit of argy-bargy, but that's okay. It was pretty innocent, and at the end of the day, it's just a foul, and Stamatolopoulos has a rest.
Seals bringing it in, back on court. Here's Marta driving, and now finds Seals. Seals pushes inside with speed, tries to reverse layup, but denied by Oceana Hamilton.
At least a foot of difference. That was always going to happen, and I think a bit of frustration there for Mariah Seals committing the foul.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see.
Oh, look, at the end of the day, a little bit of frustration. It does happen, but it's put them in an awkward position, and now they are at 14 fouls. So any foul from this point onwards for the next 6.5 minutes is going to result in 2 free throws for Forestville. As Ella Sawyer, bit of a back turn, kicks out to Chelsea Roberts from downtown. That one rims out. Amy Brett fights for the rebound, but she was just out of bounds. And North Adelaide will regain control. With a tick over 6 minutes to play in this first half.
What can Steele do here? Gives it to DiFrancesco. The floater. She finds a way to get that ball in. And points on the board for the Rockets. Much needed points on the board. And now Vidmar. Vidmar moves inside and looking for options. Finds one, and Roberts on the interior makes it count. A wonderful player from both on the three-point stripe and on the inside.
Great poise, great balance, that's for sure.
And probably her opponent who's most similar to her there in DiFrancesco gets the foul called.
Yeah. And again, speaking exactly of poise and balance, that was exactly right. Just down there, just taking the contact and making sure that a shot does go up. Hits the square. It was just unlucky that that didn't drop in for DiFrancesco as she heads to the line for 2 shots.
Of course, had a dynamic duo back in the day with the likes of Olivia Thompson at Forestville. They made quite the formidable combination. It must have been back in 2017, 2016, but of course, times change. And
they do.
Suiting up for the Rockets, she's still made a name for herself. She's still a formidable player.
And we've definitely been on the whiteboard of Monica Bello pre-game in discussions of who to lock down, which they've done a pretty decent job of doing. Calkin just losing control of the pass there from Amy Brett. And North Adelaide get another chance here to put some points on the board and bring this gap back in from the 17-point deficit it is currently sitting at. Seals kicks it sideways to DiFrancesco. An offensive foul called on Abby Mader. Didn't see the contact, but they haven't missed much today.
And that's the second one they've called on the offensive side before a sequence has even occurred. Hamilton through the fingers again, and Seals will break. Strong defense means all these Forestville players get back, but Seals doesn't have anything on. She has no one to go to, pivoting left, right, centre.
And so unlucky to give away a foul. Chelsea Roberts, she can't believe it. She's beside herself.
Astonished is the term.
She's smiling, but there's pain in that smile.
I think she's smiling because they're up by 17 points. But if the scoreline was reversed, I think there would be no smile there.
No smile. It'd be upside down smile. But we don't talk about upside down smiles.
Sensing the occasion, Jason joins, brings back on his best player in Taylor Corrigan. Needs her on the court despite her high foul count. The turnaway jumper, DiFrancesco.
Big time shot, just copped a little bit of contact on the elbow.
I think she heard me say Corrigan was Jason Joins' best player and said, hang on a second.
Don't forget about me. I'm here too, I'm a star.
Of course, she had 19 points last night as well against the Sabres.
A big game, absolutely right. As she heads to the line for that bonus shot. 19 points, 7 rebounds and 5 assists. She had a cracking game last night against the Sabres.
And in a tough night as well. Strong effort there from DiFrancesco. It doesn't quite happen though. Roberts will have to pass it out, and on the top is Sawyer. Sizes up DiFrancesco, pushes in and back out. The shot from Brett. Oh, that's fortunate. You take it if you're Amy Brett.
That was very, very kind. I was just going to say that it feels like the intensity has certainly gone up a notch. That may have just deflated the tires of the rocket ship. There's no tires on a ship as the shot goes up from Corrigan.
The Rockets. You could just say the Rockets on a ship.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yep. Amy Brett now to Sawyer. And Roberts. Just safe hands on this Forestville outfit. She is burning it, gives it to Amy Brett. She wants to shoot it again. She's got a wall to break through, and
she decides to do that.
That's smart. Abby Marta gets the offensive foul called, the charge, and did well to set herself there.
You see Brett coming, bit of a loss of control of the ball, and just plowed straight through it. And that's her third personal foul. She heads to the bench for a bit of an extended spell, you'd imagine.
And Chelsea Roberts back off as well. Megan Quinn comes on, so does Amber Calkin.
So many options on that Forestville bench. They are super duper deep. As Seals drives like absolute shot out of the gun. Kabang! Much needed basket and a much needed bit of excitement for the North Adelaide Rockets.
Stepping back out is Sawyer. Sawyer, she's got space and she doesn't have space. Tonight, I think DiFrancesco got the hand in there. Just said no to that one.
As we see on the replay there, Mariah Seals just going straight through, just flicking on the afterburners and going boom straight through to the baseline and knocking that one in front of the basket. As Megan Quinn looking for a similar way in. Shot is not there. Ella Sawyer with the floater, it just rims out. Rebounded by Calkin. And she draws a foul and will head to the foul line for 2 shots.
And offensive rebounds continue to be nabbed there by the Forestville Eagles. They just get consecutive plays over and over, and it's really hurting the Rockets. Still just a 14-point lead. They haven't been able to expand on it in this second term, but who knows what could happen in these final 3 minutes of the half.
It's the hunger for the ball. It's the hunger for the ball when a shot goes up, and it's the seal on your other player. They're not getting the defensive seals on the Forestville players to get those defensive rebounds. The Seals brings the ball up, almost leaves it behind her. She's going way too fast even for the control of the ball. Inside of DiFrancesco. And there's another offensive foul on Abby Mata. She looked a bit bemused on that one, but it did leave her wide open, so quite possibly could have been a bit of a shove from Abby Mata. A bit of a frustration shove, and she's got her third personal foul.
Coming off is Sophie Byrne. And Tia Bale's back on.
And Frisbee Smith checks in for her first minutes of the game.
Really gone deep on her bench now is Monica Bello. She has the luxury of doing that. And here's Calkin on her number 10 in Bales. And nice dribbling by Viner. Shot blocked. Megan Quinn there by Abby Marta. And Bales sees Seals out to Marta on the other end. Both ends of the court, Abby Marta gets it done against the side that she had a wonderful match against last year. Of course, it was the semi-final. North Adelaide undefeated. We're at home and Forestville gave them an almighty scare. It took I believe, I've got it down here somewhere, a 26-4 point final quarter for the North Adelaide Rockets to overcome them. It was a mammoth ride home, and leading that was Abby Marta, a cameo off the bench that was really probably unexpected from Monica Bello. They just roared back into the contest. And ever since then, Abby Marta's probably been touted as the next big thing coming out of the Rockets, coming out of Hillcrest. And we're watching it eventuate here.
As North Adelaide go up again with Mariah Seals. Swings it around to Byrne. She dumps it over to Corrigan, and then she's looking for a way through. Really tight defense, great switching. The shot comes from Corrigan and rebounded by Viner, and they push it out, and they are off and running with Stamatopoulos. Ahead to Calkin, almost loses control of the ball. A little press shot, and it goes in! What another touch from Amber Calkin. Cracking game last night and backing up again today.
Seals crosses her up, doesn't roll in. Corrigan nearly grabs it. Seals on the floor as Forestville will bring it back up with intent, and the intent misguided in the end. Rolls it out of bounds. North Adelaide will get that one back.
I think when the adrenaline's pumping, as it has been for the Forestville Eagles, as they take time out just to kind of rescue it again, just to sort of say, hang on, girls, let's just calm down. I think we're getting a little bit too excited now. But that was an absolute cracker of a scoop press shot. I don't know what you would even call that. That's not in the textbook, but maybe Amber Calkin is reading out of a different textbook than the rest of us.
Well, the ones that aren't in the textbook are the best baskets to watch, and Amber Calkin doing it.
She's got all the tricks, a massive bag of tricks. Last night, we witnessed to that a few times there. Going baseline, scoop shots reverse. It was a pretty special night for her as well.
You have to remember she's still a teenager as well.
She's got so much upside. So we're really looking forward to seeing her this weekend. Had the opportunity to see her last night at Woodville hosting the reconciliation games, and being here today, calling the game today, seeing her again, it's just, she's going to have this league on a string in a very short amount of time.
Well, of course, she represented Australia in the Indigenous basketball. There was a tournament in New Zealand a few weeks ago, and she went over with the Fijo sisters and played well. They won the tournament.
Yeah.
So plenty to watch there in Amber Calkin. And of course, in that tournament, she was playing with the likes of WNBL caliber players and plenty of players who stood up in the NBL 1 as well. Quality basketballers, I believe Renee Fijo as well, she plays in the college in Canada. So they had them from everywhere. And it's a solid selection for Amber Calkin. And really just, she's gone from strength to strength this season. Seals with pace again. We've seen that already this term, haven't we?
She's got a lot of pace. She's really switched it up in gears. She takes the hit and puts it in, and she will head to the foul line for a bonus. To bring this one back, it's out to 15 points, but to bring this ever so closer to a 10-point ball game and getting it under that double-digit figure is going to be absolutely crucial. If they can do it in the next minute and 41 seconds, and it gives them a great opportunity to really take that momentum into the second half.
Of course, Mariah Seals used to play at Utah Valley from Richmond, California. She gets that bucket in, and it's a 14-point game and an important minute and a half for North Adelaide Rockets if they are to stay in this clash and stay in touch. But here we go. Westhoff drives inside. The pass out was not there, and Bales will break. She has Seals, gives it off, and the fumble means she won't lay that up. But the pass out to Byrne, and inside is Smarts. Works the space well there. But North Adelaide will have to reset. Taylor Goggins couldn't get that one in. Seals now with 8 seconds on the clock. What can she create? She steps back for the three-pointer. It's short. And bringing it back up will be Rebecca Frisbee-Smith. And Katia Stamasilopoulos. Chelsea Roberts now.
That drive and dish game that seems to be right through the Forestville Eagles offense.
Tia Bale still holding her hand up, not happy with the call.
But it'll still send Frisbee-Smith on the line for 2 shots. Just not quite covering that baseline well enough.
Yeah, you're completely right. The amount of sequences where we've seen a Forestville player just dart underneath and get behind them, it's happened on regular occasion. Especially even with Oceana Hamilton not even on court as well. They just find ways to get inside and get baskets. North Adelaide really have to be switched on.
It is that breakdown of communication on the defensive end. If someone has to leave a player to defend a driving player, then there's got to be that flow on to that next player to come around and make sure that they're guarding again. As Seals moving around with Abby Marta across to Byrne. She was open for a second. Great inside pass, just a little bit misdirected, but took a bit of a hit.
And she's been pushed out of bounds apparently, I believe.
Bit of a bump, bit of a push has been called, and she'll head to the line for 2 shots.
Obstruction, is that the term? I don't know. I should say I know. I believe it was obstruction. But
if you believe it, then it's true.
But Marta goes to the line, gets a couple in. And these are again important points, just 30 seconds on the clock for this term. North Adelaide Rockets sitting in 9th position. Finals hopes are going down the drain fast, especially if they lose this one. But that shot doesn't go either. Bales would save it somehow. Marta has a lot of pressure. The cross-court pass to Byrne, to Seals. This is good basketball from the Rockets. Bale will put it up, and it's closer to hitting our camera than the basket. Not what the doctor ordered there.
And the final offense of the half will go to the Forestville Eagles. Now under 10 seconds to play in this one. They're up by 14 points. Stamatilopoulos to Chelsea Roberts. That's someone we want to go to at any particular point in time, but it goes across. And shot is missed by Rebecca Frisbee-Smith. And that brings us to half-time, and it's been a very, very good half of basketball. Don't let the score difference fool you. Only 14 points in it. We are set for a big second half. Your thoughts on the first half, Benito?
Well, as you said, it's 14 points, but we've seen North Adelaide sides bring back this deficit before. And with these players that are on the court, we'll be back for an entertaining second half here at the Wayville Sports Centre.
And welcome back to you all. That's almost the end of the halftime break here at Wavell Basketball Stadium, where the Forestville Eagles taking on North Adelaide Rockets. They are up by 14 points over the Rockets. It's been a big first half. What can we expect to see in this second half, Benito?
Well, as you can see there, Jason Joynes talking to his team. He's a player, he's a coach with a rich vein of experience, and he's going to be telling his team how to get back into this encounter. They're down by 14, of course, 45-31, but by no means out of it. They've got players who can bring this deficit back with with capability. Taylor Corrigan is one, Sam DiFrancesco another, Abby Marder's showing potential this first half, and you just feel like there's going to be a bit of a run here by the Rockets.
They need their supporting crew to really step up now. I mean, you absolutely hit the nail on the head. I mean, Abby Mader, Taylor Corrigan, and Mariah Seals, those three are key. They've got to hit double figures. They've got to join DiFrancesco in double figures and really start putting some scoreboard pressure back on to Forestville. I suppose the worrying sign for DiFrancesco in that first half, she was 4 from 11 from the field for her 10 points. So that's going to be, I think, a factor for her. Maybe some better shot choices in the second half, or so at least some more ball movement at least. But we'll see a different North Adelaide in this second half. Yeah. Leading the way for Forestville is Chelsea Roberts with 13 points. She's having a monster, and we're looking to continue this here.
Well, we look at a bunch of players in this Forestville lineup. Roberts, Stamatolopoulos, Vidmar, Quinn, Brett, Kaukin, and Hamilton all shooting at over 50% from the field.
And there she is as we speak of her as well. Chelsea Roberts starting this second half exactly like she did in the first.
And here's a key component of that North Adelaide lineup. Seals asks it into Corrigan. In a bit of foul trouble is Taylor Corrigan. She drives and she's in very deep foul trouble.
Very deep. She's up to her eyebrows in it, and she's going to head straight to the bench.
Oh, that is absolutely not what you want. And
she's not going to head straight to the bench. She's going to stay out there on her floor.
I think Joynes is
He's just trying to figure out where his next set is going to come from. A key component of his entire game plan is Taylor Corrigan. You cannot afford to be out of it after 21 minutes. Megan Quinn swings it around to Stamatopoulos. Inside pass finds Roberts again, and she just misses on the shot, but manages to draw the foul. And we'll head to the line for 2 shots.
You look at the plus minuses of these Rockets players, and by far, Corrigan just minus 6. So as you can see, it's a 16-point margin. While she's been honest, they've only dropped 6 points on the Eagles.
Plus 14, minus 14.
Yeah, but
it's amazing, isn't it?
Here's Roberts though. Puts it in.
How good am I reading stats? I mean, as North Adelaide, I'll have to have a bit of a stats Q&A at some point to figure out what they all mean. But what it does mean right now is that Mader drives, scoop shot with the left hand. Beautiful shot from Abby Mader.
Here's Quinn. Quinn out. And here's Sawyer. Sawyer showing poise, gives it out to Quinn, and she feels it. Megan Quinn putting pressure on this North Adelaide Rockets side to stay in this encounter. Seal steps back out, gives it to Corrigan. Corrigan turns away and rolls out. Taylor Corrigan not managing to get that one in. And now pushing the agenda are the Eagles. Eagle getting inside on the baseline again. That was Sawyer showing intuition that Mark Twain would be proud about, but he doesn't get it. It didn't go in. And now Mariah Seals. What can she do? Here's Sophie Byrne. And Marta puts up the shot. That'll need to go in, and it does.
That's big. Big shot from Mader. They were really starting to lose a grip on this second half already after only 2 minutes, but that's a big shot, and that'll bring some confidence back to the Rockets.
And
wide open, misses the shot at the back of the iron. She probably had a little bit more time than she thought she did.
The bullet pass to DiFrancesco. Over the top of Roberts, doesn't forward. Bringing it back up is Stamatolopoulos. She has space, gives it out, and Sawyer drives, kicks it out, and Vidmar feels that. And that is pain if you're the North Adelaide Rockets. Gabby Vidmar doesn't miss from there often.
Great ball movement from Forestville as well to find that open look. She was wide open as Mader drives the key and knocks it in. Great shot. She's shown some real aggression in this second half.
And she's shown aggression the entire match, but she's finally channeled it into the right places because she's getting the ball into the basket and really providing North Adelaide with their only scoring option as Corrigan makes her way off before she fouls out for good. Oceana Hamilton comes on. That's the smart move if you're Monica Bello.
She's seen that and gone right, licking the lips, going, here we go, Oceana, get in there and dominate. As Marta puts it on for three-point play. As Joins checks back in.
Gives them a bit of height, a bit of a tactical battle going on here on the bench. That's what we love to see. And these are two brilliant coaches as well. Coaches with a wealth of experience. Monica Bello, of course, didn't win Coach of the Year last year. Probably only because she was up against an undefeated side in Brenton Johnston's Rockets. So, but here's Hamilton, well wrestled with Artia Bales. She does a brilliant job, and they win possession back, the Rockets.
Confidence booster for this Rockets outfit.
Strong for Tia Bales. She had 19 in their reserves game earlier in the week against, of course, just 19 years old as well, still a teenager. It'd be a bonus if she could get some points on the board this second half. DiFrancesco, though, she can't get it to go from the outside. And Forestville looking to make him pay. Is Vidmar steps outside, I should say. Basket won't count, but that was good basketball for the Eagles.
It was a good look, it really was, and that's dangerous if you're North Adelaide, to recognise that drop from middle of the key to the driving player with no one then covering Oceana. We touched on that in the first half. Got to make sure that there's a lot of talk going, I'm coming to you, follow and find my player. Otherwise, Oceana's going to be free right in the middle of the key and be knocking in shots from 2 feet away.
Roberts puts that in. Another one for Chelsea Roberts. It's another nugget of gold from the Mineral Area College alumni. DiFrancesco now. Can she respond? Nice pass, pick and roll. Eliza joins, and that rolls in. Good response by the Rockets.
It was good. It looked awkward, but it went in, and that's the main thing. The ball goes in the basket, and that's exactly what Jason Joyce would have wanted. But it was good poise and good composure. As Vidmar throws that one away. Did not expect Oceana Hamilton to have moved from her position there, but why wouldn't you? You've got a little bit of height, a little bit more strength on her direct opponent in Eliza Joins.
And here's Seals having a discussion with Jason Joins. They're still in this, the Rockets, albeit hanging on at the moment. Here's Marta driving on Roberts, steps inside, pulls back out, the shot rattles and doesn't fall. Hamilton with strength pulls it away from Eliza Joins, and she brings it up now through Sawyer. Here's Roberts, fakes out Marta.
You wanted her to take that three-point shot and the step back.
It would have been murderous. But here she is now. Doesn't have many options. Kalkin at the top. She puts up the long three ball. Doesn't go. Shiana Hamilton didn't even jump then and still plucked that one up.
Sawyer drives middle, dumps it underneath the basket of Vidmar. Great ball movement and great vision from Ella Sawyer. She's having a cracking afternoon. Inside of DiFrancesco. She settles it back down again, looking for options inside. She kicks it wide, and Sawyer gets a hand on that one and almost kills a small child in the front row.
That's why they put the small children on the front row.
To soften the blows. It's while the pawns go first in chess. Is that let's just send the kids out and they'll get knocked out and kick.
The splash zone.
The splash zone. I think Chelsea Roberts has been in the splash zone since the start of this game.
Yeah, absolutely. Can DiFrancesco get in it as well? She hasn't so far. Passed out around the baseline. Well cut off by Vidmar. Wasn't really there, but they'll get possession. 4 seconds on the clock. What sequence can they run here? What play can they run to get a basket?
It'll be DiFrancesco. There she is straight away, and the shot just rims off and controlled. Almost stolen away. Picked back up by Sawyer. Well controlled, and Roberts sprints down the court. Vidmar to her right, back top to Ella Sawyer. She gets DiFrancesco on her feet, drives through the keyway. Great fake. Elevating DiFrancesco off the floor and going straight past her to the basket for 2 points.
It's hard to believe she's 18 years old. Ella Sawyer.
And she's an absolute gun already. She plays like a seasoned veteran as Byrne cops a hit to the hip, looked like, on the turn of the attempted block shot from Ella Sawyer, so she'll take the foul. As Jenna Westhoff checks back in, giving Chelsea Roberts a rest. I'm sure she'll want to stay out there and drop a few more long bombs, that's for certain. And Sophie Byrne steps to the line for 2 shots.
19 points so far for Chelsea Roberts. She's had the ball on a string. Easy points for Sophie Byrne. And now, Forestville up by 18. Can really put the killer blows, can really hit North Adelaide with the killer blows here. So they play the right basketball in these final 4 minutes of the third term.
Championship quarter or premiership quarter, depending on where you are. Skalkin drives middle, it's wide open for her. Takes the contact, a little bit hard on the shot, and it rims out.
I reckon she saw, can't speak, but I reckon she saw Tia Bales just standing there under the key, looking a bit stunned under the basket, and just took the contact and tried to get the M1.
She was very close to M1. I think she had way too much space than she thought she really did have, and got a bit overexcited on the way through the keyway. She knocks in the first. Especially when you have an open keyway right in the middle of the key, it's always a surprise, that's for certain. If she pops in the second one. As Megan Quinn checks back in for Gabby Vidmar. Rockets looking for a way in. Forestville seemingly have extended their defense just on the inbound pass, but they managed to okay. It's at the top. Eliza joins, kicks it down to Abby Marta. She's looking for a way through. It's a bit hard going at the moment. Ball's turned over. And Bales will cop the foul.
Chaos on the hardwood there in the middle, but that's good from Forestville again. They saw that Joins could get to, they double teamed Joins and they got the turnover that they wanted.
Then they really set that up in the ball movement prior to that. They were just everywhere. Every time they leave a player, one of their fellow players on court will move to that player that's been left. So it is a real big difference, and it will be a real big talking point, I think, for Jason Joins at the end of this game, that Forestville managed to cover opponents way better than North Adelaide did. Can't really even say if North Adelaide have so far. As Taylor Goggins checks back in for Eliza Joins. Pushed out to an 18-point lead now for Forestville. Seals with it now, inside to Goggins. Tries to get it over the top to Di Francesca, does not come off, and they come away with it, the Eagles.
Now, turnover again though, Seals gets fouled. The pass there earlier, attempting to get to Di Francesco, I think Marta couldn't have pinpointed that any better, but she didn't realise Kauken was running with her and basically hit her on the head.
Kauken is lightning quick as well, so she was always going to make up the little bit of gap between herself and Di Francesco as Seals brings it up. Finds an inside pass, which is Abby Mader, but she rims that shot out, controlled by Quinn, and away go Forestville once again.
Forestville really looking to dig the dagger in here. 22-point margin now, and North Adelaide really struggling to keep up, but Kauken gives it to Westhoff. Westhoff, the pass out, and Sawyer will step in, take the J. Defensive rebound from Viner is good, but she loses possession, unfortunately.
Thank you for the mathematics check there on that one, Benito. I called it 18, it is 22, and I don't know, I should do math on a Sunday. That's not fair.
Day of rest.
Especially for mathematics. Looking for a way in. Westhoff had a lot of space inside the keyway, but a big shot from Megan Quinn. Foot on the line. It'll only be 2, but a great shot from Megan Quinn. Pushes this one out to 24.
Oh, and Seals with the other one. Mariah Seals just puts a bit of cherry on that.
She's a pocket rocket, and she's an absolute excitement machine. Absolutely. You can see why she was so well sought out by Jason Joins to come into this team. Yeah, she'll step the line for that one bonus shot.
That's one of those baskets that's not in the textbook.
It's not in the textbook.
But it's one you definitely enjoy seeing.
I'm sure she's got her own textbook she's writing, and it is pretty thick, you'd imagine, that's for sure.
Get it at Dimmicks. Comes out on Monday. Ella Sawyer now gives it to Westhoff. The Forestville stalwart gives it to the younger Calkin, and now Viner. What can she figure out here? Uses the brain to find that and chases it up as well. Strong from Goggins into that. North Adelaide will bring that back up. Kind of broke down there for the Eagles. And now DiFrancesco is sizing up Sawyer, and we hear a whistle. It'll stay with the Rockets. In fact,
it looks like it was off the ball for Charlotte Viner. We're just jostling for position, I think, there with Goggins.
Monica Bello looking for an explanation. She's getting it, though, from the referee. The game has continued to flow here as it's gone on. I have no complaints with how this match has been officiated.
It's been quite a good, it's been a really, you're exactly right, hit the nail on the head. It's been a very fluid game. You really haven't seen much there that can, of any kind of contention. They've really kept a good control of it. The fouls, all the fouls that have been called have been basically fouls that are absolutely there and need to be called. So very well officiated so far.
And Forestville Eagles still shooting at 48% from the field, which is absolutely, well, it's a key to winning the match, and they're well on top in that field goal percentage battle. The Rockets shooting it at just 36%. Here's Viner, though. Viner sizes up Goggins, and now Sawyer will play it smart, drives inside, kicks it out Westhoff, fumbles it, but gets it back to Viner. 1 second on the clock, and just for good measure, Goggins denied her on the layup. Strong defense from the Rockets. Forestville a bit less composed there than we have seen for the rest of these three quarters.
Couple of fumbles there, but that's to be expected when the fatigue does set in, especially on doubleheader weekends like we had so far. Seals kicks it out, shot up, shot in, out, and goes in. Great shot, Bethany Dittmar. The kiss of good luck on the rim, and it does fall in, bringing it under 20 points for the first time in a little while.
And I don't think that shot would have gone in if she hadn't looped it like she did, because of course the percentages go up with that sort of arc on a shot. Absolute rainbow. Westhoff gives it to Sawyer. Sawyer running the offense at the moment for Forestville, and fires that into the backboard, gets called for the foul. And she'll go to the line now for a couple of shots of her own. The charity stripe well utilised tonight.
She really wound up on that shot. Luckily there's not a crack in the backboard. Might need to get O'Brien's out to have a quick check of the backboard at 3/4 time.
An iconic advert that Alan Brown is referencing there.
Oh? You say? Oh. As old Sawyer hits that first foul shot.
And this is coming to you live. I'm Benito Carboni and Alan O'Brown with me here.
Oh, yep.
And Dittmar brings it back in. 21-point margin. North Adelaide need to go. They need to go now. If North Adelaide are to go, they need to go now. Here's DiFrancesco, steps out, and a bit long on that three ball again. Defensive rebound, grabs, and DiFrancesco shooting at a much better clip from close range. She gets that one in. And with 40 seconds in the term, Eagles looking to just slow things down, keep things on their terms, and just work this out.
They're going to take every second they can off the clock. Westhoff drives in, dumps underneath, and Quinn takes the contact on the arm, and we'll head to the line for 2 shots. We've been dancing around that 20-point margin for a little while now. And let's see if Megan Quinn can push it back above the 20-point mark.
Quite an interesting narrative that we're really selling to you in the commentary booth. Will it be above 20 points? Will it not?
I think it will be. What do you think?
I'll go no.
Hedging the bets. I like it. But Forest will regain possession off the missed foul shot from Megan Quinn, and they will look to use every second of this last 5 seconds on their shot clock. So he kicks it out. Last second shot on the shot clock. It rims out, but almost another offensive rebound by Megan Quinn, with a shot from Charlotte Viner just rimming out. Well, they're looking for a way in. Dumps over the top to DiFrancesco. 5 on the clock. She's going to take the last shot probably from downtown. She steps inside. And the shot is missed, and it is a 20-point margin at three-quarter time. Forestville well in control, like they have been throughout the entire of the first 3 quarters that we've seen so far here at Wavell. Is there a spark left? What is left for the North Adelaide Rockets in this game? If
there's any consolation, we do know that in a match last season, the semi-final last year, North Adelaide rode home on a 26-4 final term against the Forestville Eagles to make their way into the grand final. And that was on the back of Abby Marta, who is playing today. Of course, the retirements of Joe Hill, Lauren Thornett, and Kirsty Williams have hurt their side, but they do have some of their team that has remained from the undefeated side last year, and there is hope.
There is talent on that team. There is talent enough to get them back into the game. It's shot by shot, shot, turnover, shot, shot, turnover, shot. That's all they need to concentrate on doing, is capitalising on the turnovers.
And Forestville, on the other hand, look well in control of this one, getting a bit of revenge for their grand final loss last season. Of course, Monica Bella will be looking to get back there this year. They haven't done anything wrong, Forestville, really, this season. It's just a ship that has been steady all the way through. Yep,
absolutely agree. It's why they've only lost 3 games in this season so far. Monica Bella had the luxury in that quarter to rest Chelsea Roberts, to rest Kartia Stamatolopoulos and Oceana Hamilton, to rest her big-time players that have really made a massive impact in this game, as well as Gabby Vidmar to taking her off as well throughout a lot of this third quarter. So we'll likely see them injected back into the game at some point to ensure that this is a rubber stamp. Thank you very much. We'll take the chocolates and go home.
Of course, they do have pressure on the ladder as well. They do need to keep winning to keep their spot up there against the likes of Stir and Norwood and others. So plenty on the line. Of course, we saw Forestville last night get up against the Woodville Warriors. That's an important win for them to keep up. North Adelaide, on the other hand, were humbled by the Sabres. Probably one of the favourites to take this competition out, I would argue, at least.
Well, it's definitely tight at the top, that's for sure. Sturt, Eastern, Forestville, Mount Gambier pushing, West Adelaide are pushing. It's going to be a real fight to the finish when we get towards the back end of this regular season, as the fourth quarter is underway.
And just to add to that, as we see Viner lay that one, and it falls out, but Monica Bello is probably the coach that could take this Forestville side heights above all those other sides. She's a wonderful coach, arguably, as I said, coach of the year so far, with such a young side, and losing so many players last season. They've just stayed up the top of the table. I think if anyone's the difference, could it be Monica Bello? I'd certainly think it could be. Forestville bringing it back up. Kauken on Seals. And now Viner finds space, drives it up, and doesn't fall.
She's looked very lively tonight, Charlotte Viner.
Especially in the past 5 minutes, I'd say, for sure.
Really showing why she should be getting a little bit more court time. I think she's just trying to throw herself out there. So look, I'm here too, Monica. As Corrigan misses that one off the back of the iron. And Forestville will control this one. They'll slow it up. We've seen a bit of a slowing down of offense in probably the last quarter or so.
Just smart basketball from Monica Bello's side. She knows it's harder to... It's when play is happening fast that leads get taken down quickly. And she's really trying to control the tempo of this one. His Seals, she has space, kicks it out, and Sophie Byrne, that's the spot she likes.
Looked good, was travelling well from the angle right behind that shot from Sophia Byrne. As Westhoff, all alone from beyond the arc, almost banks it in, but does it count if you don't say bank, as they control the rebound?
Well, banks are usually closed on Sundays, so it's a good point to make. So here's Stamatolopoulos, and nowhere close. Seals now bringing it up.
Margin remains the same. Scoreless in this fourth quarter. Corrigan launches it across the court. And Megan with a hand in the back. Got the spoil, but a bit of a push. And North Adelaide will take this inbound pass from the baseline. As a couple of big guns come back on court for Forestville. Chelsea Roberts with Oceana Hamilton checking back in.
Yeah, 2 players with college experience. Definitely players you want on the basketball court.
This is the moment. This is the moment I think for Forestville here. They're going to really clamp the jaw down on this one. That's for sure.
Yeah. They could push this margin out just that little bit further. Corrigan back on court though. Doesn't go. Taylor Corrigan, of course, on 4 fouls. She hasn't been able to play freely at all today, with that foul card just pestering her throughout the match. Here's Roberts though, steps aside, finds space. Hamilton will grab it and then lose it. Unfortunately for Hamilton, she's had a few too many turnovers today in an otherwise flawless performance from the Forestville Eagles.
Bad miss by Di Francesco again, shooting over the iron.
Sure is.
That's about the 3rd or 4th time we've seen her do that in this game.
And now Corrigan brings it up. Di Francesco will play point on this occasion. See what she can do. She just hasn't found her 3-point range throughout the match, as you said. But that's a good pass to Taylor Corrigan. She gets fouled too.
If you can't hit him from downtown, throw him inside to Corrigan for the and one.
If there's one matchup the North Adelaide Rockets would be happy with today, it is that matchup between Corrigan and Oceana Hamilton. She's, I believe, even though the limited court minutes, I think she's come out on top in that one. Her stat line probably doesn't reflect it too much. She's had 8 points and about 3 rebounds. Can't add to that either. But on the other end of that, Oceana Hamilton, her point tally 9 points and 6 rebounds. So it's been a tight battle, but yeah, we'll just...
You take those 4 fouls away from Corrigan, and it's basically lifting the lid on a boiling pot. You know, that's just what's going to happen.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen if she wasn't restricted. There's some pretty good defense from Corrigan not to give the foul away there, as Oceana puts it in for another 2 points, bring her into double figures.
Hamilton using the expertise that she's gained from that run from Corrigan. Really should have made it count, but nice rebound too. And a double dribble called on Taylor Goggins. But as you said, Oceana Hamilton using the experience she has from playing for NCAA sides like Alabama. And now Sawyer back on court. Got good players throughout this. Forestville Eagles losing it though. And now Sophie Byrne bringing it up. She looks out. She has Di Francesco and hanging with Corrigan. Di Francesco puts it up and the bank works finally for Di Francesco. She's been shooting it with a bit too much oomph the entire match, but that time it works.
Whether that was on purpose or not, it's hard to say. If it was, it's great thinking by Di Francesco, recognizing that she's shooting long. So go to the top of the key and hope you catch some backboard, and it goes in, which it exactly did. Another turnover from Forestville. That's about the 3rd turnover that we've seen in this quarter on just not quite their passes in their offense, and that will give North Adelaide another chance to get back into this game.
And notice that Di Francesco in that shot while standing about a foot back from the 3-point line as well. A bit of an adjustment there perhaps. She's obviously noticed her shooting pad and making adjustments that worked in that case. She didn't over-adjust, under-adjust. It's working out, and it's a 17-point margin, as you said. Monica Bello not happy with how her side is seeing out this match.
2 points in 4 minutes. I mean, they've been scoring at a really good clip throughout the rest of the game, but to bring it back to only 2 points in that amount of time, she would not be very happy with that start to this 4th quarter. She's got her big players out on court. They should be putting it in and really putting this one to bed.
And North Adelaide deciding to go big for the first time this match. We've seen Eliza Joins and Taylor Corrigan on court together. Interesting tactic utilised here by Jason Joins. To see how it pans out. Pass inside. Di Francesco sees Corrigan. Seen that a few times. The jumper, she's called for the foul, is Gemma Westhoff. And Corrigan will head to the line. She's a very accurate free throw shooter. So I would expect her to put these 2 in. I think she's better than the Mickey that I could be putting on her now.
But then the move from Joins to bring in Eliza Joins is hoping to take away the matchup down their defensive end of Oceana Hamilton to basically sort of protect and cushion any sort of potential 5th foul from Corrigan.
And
so
in a sense, free up Corrigan on the offense as well to kind of do as she pleases.
Absolutely agree. And we see exactly that on this offense. Oceana Hamilton being matched up by Joins.
And a bit more pressure on the 3-point line given by Corrigan, considering she has the height there to kind of just look ominous. keeping it in. Vidmar, she steps out of bounds though. And North Adelaide get possession, and it's a 15-point game. And if they're going to make a run, it is now. So,
and they've really had the run of it in this quarter. A lot of turnovers, a lot of passes that just aren't quite hitting the mark for Forestville.
Here's Corrigan, just playing it smart. He's got some wise faces on the court at the moment to North Adelaide. Francesco finds Corrigan with a bullet pass. She pops it back out, and Byrne not quite as aware as she should have been. Corrigan did fumble that, and the pass wasn't great. But North Adelaide lose a critical possession there, which is unfortunate to see because they did look like they were getting back into this encounter, and still do.
Forestville definitely not starting this one up yet. Westhoff kicks it back out to Sawyer. They have been really restricted on the offensive end. She almost had a wide open shot there, but kicks it out to Chelsea Roberts from downtown. And why would you go out to her? She misses the shot. Rebounded by Oceana Hamilton, doing exactly what she is there to do.
And Joyce probably shouldn't let Hamilton get that much space on the inside there under the basket. The pass over from Corrigan is brilliant and wonderful work there. It doesn't fall though, unfortunately, but the turnover and the block by Hamilton, she rips that back and says, no, you can't take that. Good basketball on both ends there. Unfortunate that there wasn't a basket scored though. Here's Forestville and DiFrancesco kind of up in the ante here. Just showing a bit of frustration, a bit of passion.
That was missing in the first half. That can be certainly said from a North Adelaide perspective, but they really seem to have picked it up a gear and put a real effort into this last stanza especially. Roberts now kicking it around to Sawyer. She's looking for a way through. Back out to Megan Quinn. From downtown! Putting it in! A bit of medicine from Quinn. And boy, did it taste good. As the foul is drawn on Ella Sawyer. And that is the 15th foul, or the 14th foul. Keep an eye on the score clock there. It might just be the 14th foul, but that could be of use to North Adelaide in the last 3 and a bit minutes left in this game.
And of course the margin back out to 20 points now. Forestville really just consolidating what was generally a pretty shaky 2 minutes there. Well done to DiFrancesco getting free again. Nice pass inside. Her passing's been elite, even if her shooting has it. The shot from Joyens doesn't go, but strong offensive rebound. Tia Bayles pulls that in. The shot doesn't count, unfortunately.
Wow, that's disappointing from a spectator point of view, because that was an absolute cracker of a shot. The angle, the spin on the ball, but they've called a foul and a rebound before the shot, which is disappointing.
Very close as well, considering she basically pulled the rebound and then put it back up.
Just not sure where it separates in regards of play phasing, and when they talk about one to the other, I just missed that one, but Bales does what she needed to do and put them both in.
Yeah, and of course the crowd building for the men's match that is coming up. It's been building all day though, it's been full since we rocked up. Here's Quinn, and she is on fire to finish off this one. Megan Quinn.
Big time from downtown.
Overdosing in medicine here. Here's Marta losing it. Forrest will bring it back up, and here's Vidmar. Where's Quinn? She's behind her. She's going to step out to the corner, but they're not going to use it. Sawyer loses that one, and with under 3 minutes remaining, the pass to Corrigan, just quite, she had time to adjust herself there, didn't realise it, and this is fast basketball. You can see Sawyer slowing things down, using her hand gestures. Quinn, I'd take that if I were you.
This Forestville team, I don't think they're a team of heat checking. I'm really, just to the way that Monica Bella has these girls moving, this is going to be a big time shot from Ella Sawyer. Knocked that one down, 2 points, foot on the line, but you could just see she was square, the ball movement was perfect, the pass was exactly in her shot zone.
Tempting fate there. North Adelaide Rockets driving inside DiFrancesco, and she will head to the charity stripe. Sam DiFrancesco, I'd say she's summed up the North Adelaide Rockets tonight. If you could pick one player, she hasn't shot at the best, but she's shown determination to try and get herself back into the match with her shooting, but it exactly replicates the North Adelaide Rockets, who have pushed in waves and just haven't been able to breach that deficit that has built over time since the first term.
Absolutely right. Di Francesca puts that one in the books.
And now it's 16 points as well. So the stats reflect a night that is not too bad on paper, but of course 5 for 13 from the field, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. It's a well-padded stat line.
But well below the standard that I'm sure that Sam would be otherwise accustomed to.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
not quite been her night on the offensive end as Sawyer drives middle, kicks it out. And travel called on Shane Ashworth, seeing her first minutes of the weekend. And we're tick under now, 2 minutes to play in this game. 22 points the margin. Forestville well in control of this game as they turn the ball over. And the ball's with Quinn, and now Sawyer controlling the offense, pushing it up. Finding Viner. She's been lively. Getting the screen in, moving the ball around, finding Quinn in the corner. Sawyer with time ticking down, kicks it out to Viner. Baseline shot just off the back of the ring. Rebounded by Goggins, and by Addie Mater, pardon me. And she is fouled and will head to the line for 2 shots.
The effort there from Marta. She was in a sandwich and ended up the better off in that one. A yellow sandwich.
I'd throw a yellow sandwich away if I was you. I mean,
You know what you said?
especially with a tinge of blue.
There's sometimes that's a good point. Yeah. And now Marta converts the 2. I'm going to call. Oh no, I did it. It actually happened again. I apologise, but let's just watch the end of this match. Charlotte Viner now. She's looked good in the minutes that she's had. Ashworth, she's got not much space, but finds Frisbee Smith. Couldn't have picked the pass out any better for Rebecca Frisbee Smith, who gets her points. And coming on now is Taylor Goggins.
Jason must have heard me on that one, calling it Mater Goggins, so he's like, well, I better switch it up so Alan doesn't get confused. Thank you, Jason, I really appreciate that.
Of course, your grandfathers are friends.
Yes, yeah, going a long way back as Bales goes a long way around the other side of the basket, putting it in for 2. Great move from Tia Bales. She's toiled very heartily, that's for sure, throughout this game. So this is Sawyer now. Drives middle. And she'll head to the foul line. Thought she was going to dish it out. It's been a bit of the drive and dish game from Forestville all the way through.
We noticed the way she laid that up in general. She has the option to either just pass it out to the corner or just finger roll it up into the basket. It's a smart play, and it really leaves your options open to the final minute, to like the final millisecond where you decide what to do there.
And it's the awareness of the other girls too, to know that every time someone drives, they to get themselves open if they are an outside option, and they will get the ball, and they will more often than not find a shot going into the bottom of the net. As Ellis always looking for a way to the bottom of the net on this second shot, and she finds it. There's North Adelaide now moving it around. Moving it baseline, back out, shot up and down. Great shot. Exactly what they wanted from
Beth Dittmar.
Beth Dittmar. She'll be happy with that loopy shot, Beth Dittmar.
That's 2 from 2 from the field for Dittmar. So using a minute as well, she'll probably get some next week too. The layup.
Frisbee Smith gets a bit of a whack to the noggin.
Yeah, really earned that one.
It's a knock to the noggin by Goggin.
No easy points for the Forestville Eagles late in this one.
Hey, I don't make these things up all right, Benita. That just happened organically.
Cool, Dr. Seuss. But Forestville putting up what looks like it'll end up being 87 points. You'd be happy with that as a Forestville Eagles fan. with the likes of some teams, like if you put up 90 points a game in the Premier League, in the Women's Premier League, you're a good chance to go all the way. It's just an avenue of scoring they've continued to find. They put up plenty of points in the night last night as well, didn't they?
They absolutely did. You're absolutely right. And they put up enough points tonight to make this one a big win over the North Adelaide Rockets. 22 points, the final margin, 87-65. North Adelaide toiled hard, but just did not have the firepower or the star power to make this one count here at Wayville. It's Forestville taking this one by 22. We are not too far away from the men's game. They'll be coming up in around about, I would say, about 15 minutes time. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a big, big game here. North Adelaide and Forestville. Forestville hosting the North Adelaide Rockets. It's going to be a cracking late afternoon of basketball here, Sunday twilight at Wayville.